Let's start with a line of code that explains everything. People do some crazy things with money, but no one is crazy. See, your financial choices aren't actually made on a spreadsheet. They're coded by your unique personal history. It's just your own operating system at work. So here's the core glitch in how we think about money. We're taught it's like physics, a system with hard, fixed rules. But it's not. It's psychology. I mean, if money were physics, we'd all be rich. And maybe a little bored. Here's a look at the two mental models. We think it's all about rules and rational spreadsheets. The reality? Money is governed by our messy emotions and our behavior. The big takeaway is that financial success isn't a knowledge problem. It's a behavior problem. All right, let's deconstruct that system. Our first principle is simple. Your ego is an active, reoccurring expense on your personal balance sheet. Now, the source gives us a powerful new definition for savings. It's not just leftover income. Savings is simply the gap between your ego and your income. So the smaller your ego, the larger that gap can become. The principle is that you can increase savings without increasing your income. You do it by raising your humility. So the micro action is this. Before your next purchase, just ask yourself, does this serve my ego or my future freedom? Ego writes checks your future self can't cash, often with next-day delivery. And here's a critical piece of code to remember. No one is impressed with your possessions as much as you are. To everyone else, your new car is just a notification that gets swiped away. Okay, let's install a better operating system for your financial decisions. Idea 2. Aiming to be reasonable is far more effective than trying to be rational. This really just comes down to one diagnostic question. Are you a spreadsheet or are you a person? The system data is pretty clear on this one. You are not a spreadsheet. You're a screwed up, emotional person. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. The goal isn't to become a machine. So the process is straightforward. First, you ditch the impossible goal of being coldly rational. It's just not sustainable. Instead, you just aim to be mostly reasonable. A reasonable plan is so much better because it's one you can actually stick with through the messiness of real life. And now for a bonus idea, a really critical reframe on what wealth actually is. Think of it as having an invisibility cloak. We tend to judge wealth by what we can see, right? The fancy car, the nice watch, but that isn't wealth. That's just spending. Real wealth is what you don't see. It's the car not bought, the upgrade declined. It's all the financial assets that haven't been converted into visible stuff yet. So what's the point of having all this invisible wealth? Well, its true value is one thing, control. Specifically, control over your own time. That's the highest dividend money can possibly pay. It's a way better dividend than the free peng you get from the bank. All right, theory is useless without application. So here's your action for the next 24 hours. We're going to run a diagnostic. First, select one recent purchase you made that was over $50. Second, analyze that decision. Was it driven by ego or was it driven by utility? Be honest. Your phone's location data probably knows anyway. And third, identify the psychological trigger that prompted the spend. I turned this into a clean PDF plus action worksheet. Link in the description or pinned comment. If this helped you, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more. What's the next step you'll take in the next 24 hours?